So let's talk a little bit about the business of real estate, whether investors or real estate agents. You've been around quite a while in title and before that in the business as well. You see people come in and do real well. You see people come in and struggle for a long time. You see people who've struggled for a while and broke through. What's the common denominator that you find of people who achieve success in real estate, whether it be as an investor or wholesaler or as a real estate agent?
Well, I see.
Or title rep, I guess, same thing, right? You have title reps in your company, they're good and bad, and why made some make it? Probably, I would imagine it's the same issues, no?
It actually is exactly the same thing. What I was about to answer is exactly the same thing that makes the title rep successful. It's consistency in the marketing and or prospecting. So, and it's funny because, like I said, I've worked with numerous agents when they started. They call me when they first start. Hey, Kevin, I'm in Sacramento and I want to start marketing. And then almost inevitably down the road, a couple months later, they call me. If they're doing the work, they call me with a couple, hey, I keep running into this. I keep running into that. And if they keep working through and get through those stopping points, they usually make it on to success. The ones that don't are the ones that hit that 3-4 month mark. I'm not getting any deals. I've been doing all this work. I've made 10,000 phone calls already. And if they don't push through, then those are the ones that ended up, oh yeah, I switched back to regular real estate or something like that. So I say the ones that are prospecting, I think it was Jack Welch that said, business is a series of trial and error. And I'm not saying go try a whole bunch of stuff. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that it's not every person that can say, this is how I'm going to do the business. And then boom, it all works and they're perfect at it. Never. There's a lot. I mean, Bill, you're like a unicorn in this because you're one of the people that I've seen start in probate and become massively successful. And I didn't have all those conversations with you about, man, I'm having all these problems and I feel like I'm doing all this work. I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm sure you had times where you had to adjust and reorganize and do some things different. I maybe was not involved in all those conversations, but a lot of the ones that I work with that are very successful, they've had to adjust, redo some things, tweak this or tweak that. And so stay with it is what I say. Just because you put forth the marketing campaign and it doesn't work, tweak it. Maybe it might just be a minor adjustment to make it push on through.
But I think you're right. Jack Welch's point is well said, that you're constantly iterating and changing your business. So one of it is just a consistency and a commitment to it. Is there anything else you see the difference between people who make it successful and people who struggle, maybe give up along the way?
Yeah. So, and Bill, this is just, a comment to you first, is that you're right. We did talk a lot and I did see, but I think because the way you approach, you're just so smooth with the way you approach that it just didn't feel the same as the one. I had one guy who's doing pretty well now. And he, a few years ago, he was maybe in his third month or so. And he was like, I felt like he was going to give up. He was like, we made so many calls. We've sent out so many pieces of mail and it wasn't happening. And, he made some tweaks and he's pushed on through and he's doing well now. But so you said, is there anything else? Learning the process is very, very key.
Yeah.
Look, I grew up when there were encyclopedias, right? You asked about where I grew up and stuff. And I just remember having to write an essay or something about a cheetah. And we had the encyclopedias over there in the bookcase at the top of the stairs. I go over there, you find the CH in the encyclopedia, pull that one out, boom. And then, oh yeah, he runs 70 miles an hour. He lives in this blah, blah, blah. And so that's kind of the way I think now still, even though there's Google now, right? So you could just ask Google. But so I wrote the book, Probate Real Estate Sales 101 for that reason. I guess it's kind of a shameless plug, but it's not meant to be a shameless plug. I still go to my own book sometimes because I was talking with an attorney the other day and I couldn't remember this one probate code, but I knew it's in the book because I wrote the book. So I said, oh yeah, let me go. Boop, here it is. It's this probate code. You've got to have resources because probate can be very dynamic. Probate is very dynamic. There are challenges, there are issues, there are problems, there are things that come up. And you want to be able to resolve those things. And when you do, a lot of times you look like a champ, a total champ for the attorneys involved, for the heirs involved. I've heard countless stories about people that's like, hey, this was a probate deal. And they referred me their family member. Hey, it was a probate and they kept the property. So I didn't even get the deal, but because I was helping them, they referred their cousin who just needed to sell a property. And so I think being knowledgeable is what I'm trying to say, I guess, being knowledgeable about the logistics of this probate process. And so I guess it kind of goes back to what I was saying about have someone help you or have someone kind of coach you along, because to me, that is just so invaluable. And really, when I help people, you know, the help I give is all about closing the real estate transaction. That's what it's all about. But there are numerous points in there, especially when I deal with someone new, where I'll say, hey, when you do this, make sure you say this to the attorney or send this to the attorney, because that's going to make you look like a champion. Even though you're just going to get a document that we need to close our escrow or something like that, you're going to look like a champion, because they're going to go, wow, he was one step ahead. Instead of this happening at the end or me finding out at the 9th hour that I needed to do something, this agent was ahead of the curve and asked for it up front.
Yeah, I think there's no substitute for knowledge and information. It's the most valuable resource. And so if you know what you're supposed to be doing, you know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, talk to somebody who does. Give me a call, give Kevin a call. We can coach you through what to do and how to be effective in supporting your customers.